Alright, DVW fam, so I've heard the concerns, read the comments on my previous video on why and how Vegas is so empty in 2025. So I'm here to answer your doubts, concerns, and questions today in this video in almost August 2025. I got boots in the ground today and tell you guys what you guys need to do in 2025. So let's get to talking. Alright guys, you did it. Congratulations. Vegas has heard you guys. They must be watching our videos on the state of Vegas right now and why tourism in the city is declining. I revisited Vegas recently to show you guys some more proof, answer some of the doubters, as well as go through some of your complaints point by point. So make sure you guys stick around until the end of the video because we will be providing some gems, giving you guys some tips, tricks, and travel hacks and showing you guys what you should really do if you plan on visiting Vegas right now. All right, let's get straight into it and address the elephant in the room. So I was just in Vegas a couple of days ago. Some of you guys were saying, hey, I was filming at certain times, this and that. Well, here are some timestamps on when I was recording, and I chose a busy weekend to visit. It is summertime. It was around July 23rd to about 28th. I was also there during a weekend, so it's gonna be popping during any weekend in Vegas. And there were 3 concerts in town: the Beyonce concert, Queen Bee, Backstreet Boys, as well as some other performers. So yeah, as you guys can see, it is still pretty sparse from the crowds. And if you guys know anything about Vegas and its glory days, it doesn't matter when you go, when you film, there's always going to be crowds around, even on the weekends. Some of you guys still might be wondering if Vegas is really dead. Simple answer to this is no, but has it significantly slowed down from its glory days? Yes. And no, it's not just the weather or some of the times most of these shots are filmed or even a slow season. It's actually summertime. Why wouldn't there be people here in Vegas? It's vacation season. A lot of tourists look to travel during the summer from Europe. The kids are out. Even a simple Google search will let you know that some of the numbers are down because women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. You know how the saying goes. So let's break it down. One of the main points that keeps coming up is, the travel restrictions, tariffs, visa restrictions, regulations for international travelers. In my previous videos, for one, I've gotten plenty of comments from international travelers, my Canadians, my Aussie folks, oi, 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 Aussie, 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 some of the British in it. They're saying it's a little bit harder to get into the US. Apparently some of you guys are saying there's like a $250 travel fee or something like that. I don't know anything about that. I'm not traveling in the United States. But if you guys are saying in the comments, hey, I'm just gonna take your word for it. Also, like I said, a simple Google search. The numbers from Mexico, Asian countries, European countries are down. And just visually, me walking around the strip, downtown Las Vegas, I can see a little slowdown. I mean, there's gonna be less people walking around under a 37-inch waistline. You don't hear a lot of, foreign language being spoken. You don't see a bunch of tourists in droves coming out of buses, cutting you in line at the Bellagio fountain or conservatory with their selfie sticks, trying to get, their prime flicks. A lot of these, tourist hotspots, destinations, sometimes you're able to get, a singular selfie empty in the background of the conservatory, Bellagio fountains, the Paris Tower, Fremont Street with, no one in sight. For the international travelers or vacationers, if you guys are, in Europe for the summer, you're going to the US or from other countries, you're generally taking, paid time off or not paid time off on a vacation with your kids or anything like that. So international travelers usually don't care what day of the week they go. Generally, the weekends get more crowded because, people nearby from California, Texas, locals from Vegas, they tend to take up space on the strip. So on the weekends, the crowds pick up, and that's why I chose weekdays and weekends to come. But during the weekdays, in certain hours, it was pretty much a ghost town on Fremont Street experience and some places on the strip. So it's a little bit unfortunate because, crowds, international tourists bring a certain charm and excitement to the strip. When you go to a party, you don't want the party to be empty. You don't want there to be space here and there. You guys want to turn up, shoulder to shoulder, have it be a good time. But, silver lining for that is that there's less crowds. It's easier to, do things. For one, get hotel reservations, comps, getting into your favorite steakhouse a little bit smoother, getting tickets to that hot show. But there's many reasons why, international travelers may be down. But moving on to our next point, a big reason why some of you guys are saying you guys are avoiding Las Vegas are the expenses. Some of you guys have pointed to, parking fees, expensive table games, terrible odds, resorts fees, expensive food. So hear me out. What if I told you guys I found a solution to all of this? At the Plaza, self-parking is complimentary to hotel guests. So you hear that, Vegas Strip? You guys gotta start giving complimentary parking because you got some competition downtown here. Yes, I've been, digging in the dirt, researching for you guys. And for anyone who hasn't lived in Viva Las Vegas, Vegas does not end at the Strip. There's so much that Vegas has to offer. There's dozens of casinos throughout the city, a couple of miles out, from corridor strip casinos, downtown Las Vegas, and even local Vegas casinos. And during my recent stay in Vegas, I actually chose to stay in downtown Las Vegas. And here at the Plaza Hotel, I spent a fraction of the price that I would spend on the Strip. And I'm gonna share some of that with you guys. So for one, the Plaza offered free parking. Two, they delivered complimentary water and coffee to the room every day. It was small amounts, but hey, a little goes a long way. A gesture like that is pretty rare on the Strip. At any points of the day or night, I found a lot of, $10 table games, single zero roulette. I know a lot of you guys have been complaining about double zero, even triple zero roulette, dumbing down the odds for you guys. And I didn't see a single blackjack table, at least offering over 3-2 odds. 3-2 odds is, where it should be when you get blackjack. You get paid out 3-2. I'm hearing that some strip casinos are starting to do 6-5 or higher odds where you don't get, the bang for your buck when you get blackjack. And lucky us, we had a $10 match or bet slip. Leia had it. She put down $20, and we actually got blackjack on the first hand, and we dipped. We got 3-2 odds. That was awesome at the Plaza. And also for the concern of expensive food, although there are cheap eats deals still around the Strip and in parts of Vegas, I find that a majority of the old school cheap eats deals can be found right here in downtown Las Vegas. Walking distance, there's like about 5 to 10 in walking distance of each other. So I was loving it. From $14 prime rib, $17 surf and turf, a $20 casino buffet. Come on guys, those are old school prices. Even a $6 burgers and fries meal at Steak and Shake, $3 shrimp cocktails. There's so much more I could show you. I made a full video, in-depth video on the cheap eats in downtown Las Vegas and Las Vegas. So make sure you guys subscribe, click the bell icon, and stay tuned to Dan vs. the World, and stay tuned for more Vegas updates. And also for you guys complaining about the resort fees, some hotels and casinos have started to remove their resort fees, albeit temporarily, but hey, it's better than nothing. So the Resorts World on the Strip, I'm hearing, has removed it. The Four Queens has removed their resorts fees. I find that some of you guys don't even care about the resort fees. It's more that you don't want to feel that your intelligence is taken advantage of when you guys are checking the sites and it says a certain price, and then when you check out, or even when you get to the hotel, you didn't notice because sometimes you pay there, and then there's like a $40, $50 resort fee tacked on. But I do appreciate that in downtown Vegas, most of the hotels I was browsing, especially the Plaza, there'll be a price, and the price are already on average a lot lower than the Strip. But the resort fees are already included in there, so you can find some good deals. That in general, downtown Vegas is a lot cheaper, but Plaza, you can find rooms from around $50, give or take, depending on the days. So another thing you guys have mentioned is the free entertainment on the Strip from the old golden days. I miss those dearly as well, not just because it's free, but it holds a special place in my heart. That nostalgic feeling, the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, that Rugrats episode of, the shining lights of Flamingo. It just feels a little bit dimmer in the city without all that free entertainment. The Mirage volcano erupting. The Mirage is not even there anymore. The tiger shows, the MGM lion shows, shout out to my 80s, 90s babies. That Treasure Pirates Cove war with the boats and all that. I didn't even know that went away until someone just commented it. Yeah, so the Strip is stripping away some free entertainment, all pun intended. But that does not mean there are no more free entertainment on the Fremont Street experience, depending on any time you go actually, but generally at night, there's a lot of free street performances.
right in downtown Las Vegas. So there's so much to see. There's like dances, mime shows. There's so much. That's another reason why people are flocking to downtown, because that's another way you guys can save money. Seeing these, street performances on the streets, whether you tip them or not, it's gonna be less than, a grand show on the Las Vegas Strip. One caveat though is that they are not professional or sanctioned. There's even signs around that says like, you don't have to tip them, but they are plentiful, so silver lining. Also, another thing I found is if you guys are club goers, all the major clubs, and you guys can't get in, or it's a little bit harder for guys to get in, it's like $30 to even $70, $80 sometimes for a cover charge. And some of the drinks at the nightclubs are 30 plus and above after tip and all that. The Fremont Street experience, I would say, is basically like an open-aired huge nightclub with blaring music many hours throughout the day, especially in the nighttime. They play pop, electronic, even hip hop music. And as you guys might have known, Vegas is an open container city, so you guys could buy like a $2 or $3 40-ounce Modelo at a grocery store, liquor store, even some of the convenience stores, the ABC stores there, and party it up right on the Fremont Street experience. Hey, it's basically like a big club. There's even bars and places you guys can buy drinks, pubs, right along the street experience and even a little bit down. And on average, I've noticed a lot of these bars in downtown, clubs, lounges where you guys can buy drinks, on average, they're a couple dollars less than on the Strip. So I would say, hey, the Fremont Street experience, there's no cover charge. It's open to everyone. So that could be an alternative to, an expensive nightclub. But the caveat is it's gonna be a different vibe on the Strip, of course. You guys can't have everything. Not as classy. So I gotta be real here. Downtown Vegas compared to the Strip, there are some homeless wandering around, dodgy characters here and there. You are in the public, definitely less family friendly. But if you guys don't wander outside to the surrounding areas and stay on the Fremont Street experience and don't stay out too late, I think you guys will be fine. I've also noticed a heavier security, undercover police, and police presence around the Fremont Street experience because there's things that always happen there. And I'm sure that's because they're anticipating the crowds from, the Vegas Strip who are looking to, have a good time in Vegas, but still, save a couple pennies, dollars here and there.
Oh, and another thing I forgot to add, I didn't know this would cause such a reaction because I was just documenting what happened. But if you guys have been watching my videos, I went to a steakhouse and they charged me for half serving, $6 for bread service. I've been to a couple restaurants here and there that charge for bread service. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not a big fan of charging for bread. When you're at a fancy steakhouse, I get it if you're someone really nice. Even Texas Roadhouse, breads are fire, and I take some to go for free sometimes, guys. And if $6 for the half order, 12 is for the, I believe, the full order. But even in downtown, you're not gonna find that at one of my favorite steakhouses, the Plaza, which I just went to. Oscar's at the Plaza. We ordered a couple breads there and all came on the house. And I feel weird saying that because just traditionally, you don't even have to think about those things. But yeah, I guess Vegas is changing.
It's a different vibe. The, real estate square footage of all the downtown hotels are pretty close together. If you guys don't like to walk, that's good for you guys. The Strip is a little bit further, so same thing with the cheap eats deals. You guys gotta, make a trek, go further to find, great deals. But like I said, in a smaller space, there's more ease of, finding good restaurants, cheap eats, table games, things like that. A lot of people talk about the downtown Vegas being older and not having that appeal of the Vegas Strip, but I've actually stayed at the Plaza. I walked around some of the hotels, the Golden Nugget, the Fremont, and I was actually impressed from the past couple years I've been there. New carpets, they did renovations, remodeling, so it feels like almost at the level, if not at the level or better than some of the Strip hotels. But yeah, overall, I still love Viva Las Vegas, and I will still be continuing visiting the Strip all over because, I know the ins and outs of Vegas, so I'm sharing this with you, and this is why I'm making these videos, so make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. And I'm hearing that Vegas is shifting towards a high income demographic. I'm hearing from some of you guys and doing some research that, they're making some of these things more expensive, more quality over quantity type idea. But personally, I think that will strip away the magic, allure, the charm from the Vegas Strip. Because I've been going here for decades, the Strip, the crowds, the droves of people, the diversity. the fun, liveliness, being surrounded by people from all different walks of life, nationalities. That's what makes Vegas beautiful. And it may be unfortunate, Vegas is changing a little bit during these times. So like I said, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that bell button, and stay tuned for our next, all our Vegas videos, because we're gonna be delivering you guys the gems. And I've also actually been in a city that I would say Vegas is trying to shift towards this year. Actually, a couple months ago, Macau, the Eastern Vegas they call it, the Chinese, Asian Las Vegas, the way you guys like to call it. So while I was here, I would say all, if not most of the hotels were on that Wynn, Venetian, Bellagio, Aria level. Like, they're very ritzy, high end. And my local guide, my friend, was telling me that, you know, a lot of clientele that come to the city, and what the city is modeled for is for, you know, the whales, the high end gamblers, people that just want to gamble, eat and whatnot. There was a lot of, you know, things to love, but also so many differences from Vegas. And one of those things is what I mentioned before, you know, that charm, allure. There was many people there, but they all had like a fisheye, like they all wanted to gamble. They were doing their own thing. It just doesn't have that soul, you know, those rowdy people on the streets, the Fat Tuesdays, the foot traffic, because each hotel is so big, you rarely saw people on the strip, even though there was a strip in Macau, because sometimes people just want to, you know, be on the strip in Vegas and party it up there. But yeah, that's a story for a different day, so make sure you guys, you know, stay tuned if you guys want to see an in-depth look of Macau. It was actually very fun. But you know, the thing that they're doing opposite of Vegas, I saw a lot of free shows there actually. There was like a Bellagio fountain show. It was actually the MGM. There's a lot of like light shows, fountain shows, and a lot of people were, you know, gravitating towards there. So I believe there was more free shows there. Like the towers light up, the hotels light up. It was really cool, guys. But yeah, so as the Vegas Strip transforms, I believe so will downtown Las Vegas. I actually stayed there a couple of days ago and my mind was blown. I had a great time there at the Plaza Hotel and Casino. There's a discount code, I believe. I'll put it down in the link if you guys want to get a discount on a room. So again, I want to support Vegas, the city I love to visit, the staff tourism industry here. They rely on, you know, some of you guys to visit, the tips, the traffic. And here are just some shots of downtown Las Vegas during a weekend in the summertime. During all parts of the day, I was here during the morning time, afternoon, middle of the night, even a little bit around 1, 2 a.m. where, hey, a lot of night crawlers are out. It's Vegas, the city never sleeps. Back then, even a couple years ago, between 2020 and now, and even when it was really popping during the mid 2000s, 2010s, doesn't matter what time you guys film, there's always, you know, people on the strip, drunkies coming back from the club, people hopping hotel rooms in the morning. The strip never sleeps, as the saying goes. And back in my day, there used to always be dwellers, no matter what time you film, weekend, weekday, you name it, holiday, summer, winter. So yeah, obviously from some of these clips, Vegas is not fully empty. There will always be stragglers here and there, you know, cockroaches, rats running throughout the floor near the Mirage, rummaging around. But of course, compared to, you know, some of the earlier days of Vegas where it was popping and thriving, as you guys can see, there is a significant slowdown right now. But I gotta give you the good, bad, and ugly on why I think tourism is down. And like I said, if you still don't believe me, hit up Google. The direct factors and reasons might be muddy, but definitely visually, instinctually, there definitely is a slowdown. I prefer, you know, that mid-level. You know, there are some benefits to a crowdless Vegas, and I'm gonna take advantage of that, and that's why I'm giving you guys these tips, because you guys can also take advantage of it as well. Like the, you know, where to find cheap eats, the entertainment, where to find the best tables, and how to save a few dollars here and there. But hey, I hope I helped you a little bit with this video and gave you guys some tips, tricks, gems on this, you know, Las Vegas travel guide in 2025. So if you guys want to see more, make sure you guys subscribe to Dan vs. World. Like this video, and again, let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about the state of Viva Las Vegas in 2025? If this will convince you guys to come visit, if you guys will visit, if you guys made up your mind, let me know. I'd like to hear everything. It'll help me, you know, pump out more videos for you guys. So yeah, as always, subscribe for more Dan vs. World, Vegas, and worldwide food and travel videos. Deuces. All right, so I read this in the comments section in my previous video, but guys, the number one reason why everyone is avoiding Vegas right now is because of this reason.